All right. There are a lot of people in here and a lot of comments. So I will try and get to everything as soon as possible. Um Really frustrating do the wrong time. What do you mean? What's going on? Is it not? There you go. No, I went live. So you all can get here and to Ben. Yeah, Santiago Jimenez also getting an injury actually. For Fire Nerd. You started it right as I said it got you. Um, yeah, listen, look, this was another frustrating result for Milan. I mean, just coming out flat. There's really no excuses for it. Not that I like don't care or anything, but like I don't care enough to give so much energy and have so much angst and uh anger towards this team because I've rooted for a lot of terrible teams in my life, and you guys have also seen really bad Milan teams. To get angry over something that I already kind of know what's going to happen is not shocking to me. I didn't expect a loss, but obviously no one anticipated that red card from Musah, so that really changed everything. For us, it's you're sitting there at the end of the day saying to yourself, did the performance in itself surprise you? Because I don't think so. For me, none of this like really scared me in terms of like, oh my god, like no way they really did this. Like, listen, yeah, like this is who they are. This is who they've been and been showing you who they are under three different managers now. I still think managers are to blame for certain things, but when you see common denominators, manager over manager, then you can identify problems much better than what we've been able to do. But this is, but this is everything that you imagine. Yeah, George, not great, but Pulisic sucked against Parma too. If we're gonna do this whole thing of like Milan's play, like we call out everybody. Musah was garbage. Musah cost Milan everything. Let's make it plain and simple. The best players did not do a good job. But if we're gonna sit here and break it down to brass tacks, Yunus Musah was the main reason why they didn't even have a chance today. They came out looking sluggish. The Gabia mistake was absolutely embarrassing. It was amateur. It was absolutely fugazi on so many levels. On how Simon Kier always says the same thing. All we do is concede shit goals, and today was no different. And to see Musa really, unfortunately, come off the back of a couple of good performances, just to see this as like the marker for what had just happened, it's pathetic. It's just pathetic. And and I'm not even gonna get irate about it. Like we knew some of these players weren't up to par. No, Okafor comes on. Okafor completely whiffs on a chance. Like Angelo had just mentioned, I was gonna get to. Like it's just silly. Tamori on the second goal, just horrible, horrible. Tamori has no awareness, like all these defenders. How you don't even notice someone over your shoulder and closing space and the lack of awareness in general is just so pathetic. It is so infuriating on a level that, like, I'm not here to scream. I just don't care enough because these guys are bozos. Like they these aren't good enough players to warrant getting angry over. The thing I'm most annoyed at is the top 8 missing. Top 8 brought in more money. Top 8 bought this team more time. They got none of that because of this. This is this is pathetic. I like honestly. Um and the amount of people who want to sit there and get upset about stuff, absolutely. Like go for it. Like for me, excuse me. I think everyone is valid in their feelings and how they think this should have gone in terms of a better way and who to get upset about and all that kind of stuff. Just give me a second here. Um, so again, it's just a lack of mental fortitude in a way where sure, mental fortitude can be classified as, having the ability to come back, having the right mentality that despite things not going well, you find a way to succeed. This is different than mental fortitude. It's just an overall mentality, effort, like everything that we hated about past teams that had money invested in players that were just losers by the way they played. Like complete effort level on a shit standard. These guys don't reach the standard of AC Milan. If you don't no, Angelo, if they were to tied at that point, they would not have made it to the top 8. They needed to win. Um for me, I just if you don't meet the standard of AC Milan, then you're not going to be able to reach the heights. If you can't do the bare minimum, you're never going to be able to get to the top. And it starts with that groundwork. It starts with that foundation and environment. I just the sheer audacity of this ownership to kind of just allow this to spiral the way it spiraled, the way this management runs and hides at all times is pathetic. They don't give a shit. They don't care. Everyone knows what management is going to say about today. They're going to say, "Oh, we made the playoffs. We made the knockout stages. It was good." I just this is embarrassing. And if you're Jerry Cardinale and you're seeing this unravel before your eyes, like they have the Derby Sunday, they have Roma midweek Coppa Italia. They also have a bunch of fixtures within Serie A to try and get back into the top 4 and 5. How do you allow anyone to keep their jobs in management? How do you allow that? How do you sit there and say to yourself, "Ah, well, you know what? They did their best." Like there's doing the bare minimum right in school where you're graded on a 0 to 100 level and the failing grade is a 65. If you just get a 65, you're not exceeding expectations. You're below standards. You're barely getting on by. That's in theory you passed. In theory you did what you were asked to do. But did you reach the level and capability that you're able of reaching? And if you're just getting a 65, if you're just making top 4, if you're just making the knockout phases, if you're not winning any major trophies, you're failing if you're AC Milan. You're failing miserably. People are sick of it. People are tired of having to sit here and make excuses for this management. And no one is making excuses anymore. I know a lot of you had been out there immediately criticizing. And I still disagree with the immediate criticism because you have to let things play out before, anything happens. We knew how unambitious this market was. Like, we're also here January 30th in Italy, where you're kind of sitting there saying to yourselves, "Oh yeah, they're supposed to get a guy in the next 48, 72 hours." No, they're not. No, they're not. Dude, like, listen to what Zlatan is saying prior to the game. Like, this is so pathetic. Like, on how difficult this market is. They're already saying how they're fine with just Benacer. Like it's loser shit. It's loser shit. No one wants to buy it. It's mediocrity. It's not the worst of situations, but as far as Milan standards go, it's the lowest level possible in terms of where resources are at, where the talent level is within the team itself. You don't see it, like, it's over. Like, it's pathetic. You're hanging on by a thread. You put yourself in, like, these big moments, and outside of the Super Copa, you're really saying to yourself, like, "What?" Just it's pathetic. Man City buys in 3 players, but Man City and their rules and where they're at and where Premier League clubs are at are completely different for where Milan and Serie A clubs are. Just completely different scenarios and situations. Um, I find it infuriating. I find it to be a level of, like, insulting that we've never seen before. I just the level of intelligence. No, Rafa's never winning a Ballon d'Or because he can't score. You know, like Adrian, like, he can't score on an elite level. He's never winning it. Milan should sell Leao and monetize. Of course, Chuk can go for some change. Chuk is useless. You sell Leao for who, bro? Like, you want to waste all this money on this ownership, on this management? Excuse me. You want this management to run with Rafael Leao money? Nah, bro. Looking at it the wrong way. Just low level of ability, low level of ambition. I don't trust management in general, let alone, yeah, the sale. We need a striker ASAP. We've said this for 15 years or 13, if we want to be technical. Ugh, it's just silly. It's just nonsense. I mean, it's just embarrassing. Where did Milan go from here? Milan don't go anywhere. Milan stay where they are or go lower. I like Paul Maldini just looks smarter and smarter by the day. On it, like, constantly looking smarter. It's the fact that they didn't understand the gravity of the situation. Ownership has to sell. They have to. There's no way you come back from this. There isn't, unless you completely get great directors and invest the way you're supposed to invest, which is the complete opposite of what we know is going to happen. Redbird are not going to survive this. You cannot survive what is happening. You can't. You can't. Anybody with a brain that follows the situation, follow this club for a long time, it's over. It's over, dude. Like, you can't expect winning. You can't expect major trophies. I'm always of the belief that you have to wait for things to unfold before you can judge anything, right? Like, we didn't know what they were going to do. Everyone made assumptions. Okay, we had to wait for shit to unfold. The second they sacked Maldini, I was pissed. I was done. I was over it. I was really just I was over it. I was willing to give some leniency to the new directors, but I didn't want to. I didn't want to harp on them because I want to see the club do well. But realistically, come on, right? Like, you knew the sale of Tonali instantly. I think that really pushed them in that direction of embarrassment. And I mean, there's not much left to say, really. Like, this is a team that really just have nothing to show for. I don't think they should have any shame. I really don't. I think they're complacent. A lot of these players are complacent. I think a lot of the management, for the most part, is complacent. The ownership is complacent. It's pathetic. Ah. Yeah, of course, Phil. 100%. 100% right. By the way, guys, if you still just want to support us in any way possible, just like the video. Subscribe if you haven't already subscribed. This might be a subscribers only chat. Right? Only 11 likes. Come on, guys. Listen, I know we suck today, but there's 140 of you in here. Please. Sack Slatan? Maybe. I think everybody's job's on the hot seat this summer. Everybody's job on the hot seat, Absolutely. Absolutely on the hot sheet. Like what? For me, I'm frustrated. I'm just over it. Like I'm not even gonna get angry. I'm tired in general, just from working out today and doing things. Senor Green, bro. I'm not gonna pull it up. Forlani, you could say, is the one calling the shots. Zlatan says he's calling the shots. All these people say they're calling the shots, and this and that, and this and that. Nah, bro. They're not. They're not calling shit. They're calling bluffs. They're all working together like idiots and have nothing of substance. Um. Yeah. I just. It's just. I think it's one of the most embarrassing times as a fan. I think the squandering of this opportunity as a club is just so pathetic and inexcusable and unforgivable. I'm just beating a dead horse here. Like, I don't even want to review the match anymore. There's no point in reviewing the match. There's no point in me sitting here repeating myself time and time again on what's happening, what's not happening with the club. We all know, right? We know ownership doesn't give a shit. We know management is incompetent. We know half the players don't give a fuck. That leaves us with what? Everything that you're seeing. Igor, nobody was decent, or Igor. Nobody was decent. Whatever. Pulisic scored a goal. I don't care. Everybody was bad, subpar, not reaching the standards. The only salvation this season has is a Coppa Italia win, which is unlikely, and reaching top four, top five, which is still kind of doable because Serie A is embarrassing. That's it. That's it. This Champions League thing was just squandered. It's in general, like, you're kind of like, I don't even want to say you're happy. I'm not happy about anything. I don't care. I don't care that they made the knockout stages. It's important to get some of that money, but I'm not going to sit here and celebrate anything. I think it's stupid. I think it's a waste of time. And by the way, this is where I'm gonna actually get angry because I was insulted about this by multiple people on Twitter. These aren't about other Milan content creators, every Milan content creators, whatever. This is for some Twitter accounts out there. Um, you're a fucking loser for shitting on Paolo Maldini and his project. You don't know anything about the sport and anything about this club if you thought sacking Paolo Maldini was the right move. If you ever had thought that at any moment in time and had backed it, you're a fucking idiot. I hope you're happy. And I hope everything that's happening right now is something that eats away at you at night, that bothers you so much that you thought sacking someone like that in the situation and what he turned around was the right decision. You deserve this fucking bullshit. You deserve losing to Inter 5 straight times in the Derby. You deserve to have unambitious ownership. You deserve to have loser and incompetent management. You deserve to have a carousel of managers. You deserve to have players who are half witted, half talented, and half giving a fuck. You deserve all of this shit because you wanted Maldini out and you thought it would be better without him. I hope you're happy. I hope everything that you asked for has come to fruition, which is a lesser Milan, a Milan that's in a shadow of itself. You wanted it. You wanted Maldini sacked. You're fucking dumb. I don't care how unprofessional any of this sounds or any of this can come across. Context or not, you're fucking dumb. And you're a horrible person for the shit that like horrible people for the way you act to begin with. And I'm so glad that you get to eat shit now. I'm not even happy about how Milan are, but I'm happy that you get to eat shit because that's exactly what you deserve. You got what you wanted. The grass is always greener, right? You thought Maldini was part of the problem. Maldini solved all the problems. Maldini was the solution. And you guys wanted him gone. And you thought it was justified because of a couple of bad moves. And this management has done 5 times bad moves. The amount and the gravity of the mistakes. You all deserve it. Every single one of you that wanted him sacked, every single one of you that thought he did a bad job, good. This is the shit you deserve. This is every single thing that you wanted was to have this guy out. And the owner, you look like a fucking idiot. Honestly. Here you go. We got some comments by Manyan. Oops. We made a mistake. We could have finished in the top 8. A match to forget. We should have done better. Our morale is low, but we have to react immediately. We can't give up. We are Milan. I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit. I'm Martino Puccio. We're Milan. I don't care. You're not. You're not even close to it. You're people impersonating Milan. Pathetic. And I don't even dislike Manyan at all. I really don't. I think this is so silly. And this isn't even like Pioli. Pioli's still here. Nothing. Everything's the same. Pioli had to go. Pioli having to go is different. Raul, I don't even think it was 20%. I think it's a very small, loud minority. Truthfully. Who does Raul have in his picture? Zlatan. Zlatan the player, different from Zlatan the person. Just absolute cowards everywhere. Pioli also stunk towards the end. It's not getting mixed up, you know. Draw is on Friday morning. We will see who Milan end up getting in that. Uh, just it's exactly the article that I had written for Sempre Milan about Zlatan being a coward. I believe he had comments prior to the match. Let me get those up for you guys real quick because I just want these to be mentioned. Ibrahimovic to Sky. This is the most important game for us. Getting into the top 8 in the Champions League is a great opportunity. The whole team is adapting and accepting the way of working of Conceição. Transfer market gift. Our market does not depend on today's match. It's not an easy window. We are working. Loser shit. Team hasn't had consistent stability and ownership. So, here's the scenario for Milan. They will face one of Juve or Feyenoord in the playoffs. If they qualify to the round of 16, they will face one of Arsenal or Inter. So basically, Milan are not not in a good spot. So that's where Milan are. That's how everything is going with that. I thought it was going bold for a second. So that's that. Not much left for me to say here. I think I'm going to wrap it up. I appreciate all you guys tuning in and hanging out with me, venting your frustrations in the chat with everybody. Maybe a derby preview Friday. Other than that, just be on the lookout for some other stuff. I appreciate all 152 of you who have been in, tuning in, hanging out. Like the video. Check out yesterday's podcast with Santangelo if you have not already. Subscribe to us on Apple, Spotify. Follow us everywhere at That Milan Pod. Again, apologize for low energy. Just tired of everything. Hopefully, there's better days ahead for Milan, but I can't say that. Other than that, take care, guys.